Well, hello there. So glad to have you here. My name is Deb Sherritt, and this podcast, called What I Find Funny, is all about an exploration of some of the funny things that have happened to me in my almost 6 decades on planet Earth. Some have been hilarious experiences, and some have made me realize how versatile the word funny can be. So, I ask you to have a listen and hopefully a chuckle at something that made me chuckle, or question the gods as well. This episode is all about the whistle. Now, you may be thinking I'm talking about the sound you make when you blow air through your lips, or even the sound a steam kettle or train makes, right? Yeah, there's been some pretty famous whistlers over the year, although it does seem to be a dying art. My honey bunch is an excellent whistler, but in true honey bunch fashion, as soon as he's whistled to a song too many times, he starts to make up his own background tune to it that's not quite right, and although it can throw you off the song pretty quickly, it always makes me giggle. I enjoy a good whistler, and it's probably because I can't do it myself that I admire that ability in others. And did you know there's places in the world where whistling is a form of communication? In the rugged crags of Barranco de Avelo, and I'm sure I'm butchering that, it's a ravine on the small Canary island of La Gomera. They communicate by whistling, necessary because of the distance between the residents. And in Cancun, Mexico, the ancient Mayan civilization created a stone with a square cut out of the center, which would let the people know when a bad storm was coming. The stone would whistle as the winds blew through it, and the higher the pitch, the greater the intensity of the storm. It's basically a hurricane stone. And as interesting as all this is about whistling, that isn't really the kind of whistling I want to discuss today. I want to discuss the one kind of whistling that we can all do and generally hits at the most inopportune moments. The worst kind of whistling. I'm talking about the nose whistle. Now, don't shy away. We've all experienced it. The nose whistle is nothing to be ashamed of and something to truly embrace. But, like all things, right time, right place, you know what I mean? I recall a very important staff meeting that was integral to my next 6 months of employment, and I could not hear our director at all because the staff member sitting next to me was trying to guide home a herd of sheep with this nose whistle he had going on. I couldn't hear anything over his whistle, and it seemed that whatever being said was making him more and more anxious as the whistle became louder and louder and more erratic with every minute that passed. I was terrified I would be called upon to answer a question relevant to my department and wouldn't be able to hear it because I'd had a kettle sitting next to me that wouldn't stop boiling. Now, I realize that we can't help it, and we all go through it at times, so I can't judge the poor guy. And I'm glad I haven't, because just a few days ago, Honey Bunch and I were in the car, and I suddenly experienced a wicked sneezing fit. Oh, you know the kind where you sneeze continuously until you're begging for it to stop. Well, once it did, I found myself with an ear-piercing nose whistle. Honey Bunch heard it right away, and I could see his eye twitching every time I breathed in or out. There have been times in the past when we've found the funny in it and played a few tries of Name That Tune until we're in fits of laughter and the whistler needs to blow their nose. But this was different. This time, it was near to bringing your eyes to tears. It was so sharp. It was also at that time during the recent Hurricane Ophelia, and my honey bunch couldn't ignore the obvious. "What are you, the hurricane stone in Mexico sending out a warning?" he asked me. And that's what I find funny. I just love it when he can put historical facts into his humor. He's all mine, ladies. He's all mine. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope I've given you a moment of enjoyment in your daily routine. Please be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already and share me with your friends and family. Trust me, I don't mind. If you enjoyed this episode, give a listen to my other episodes, all listed on the What I Find Funny website, also found on Podbean, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all other places where you find your podcasts. Remember to find funny where you can, and take care.